We are live. Welcome everybody to another Workshop Wednesday, and the surprise is out of the bag. As you can see, if I can go over here, I have a special guest. Hello, Mr. V. Orlando Prepper.
All right, how you guys doing tonight? I think I'm having a little audio feedback here. I don't know why, but I am. That's for sure. Am
Uh-oh.
I sounding okay?
You're sounding great.
Okay. All right.
You are
So,
great.
sounds like it corrected itself. Thank goodness.
There we go.
But I can't complain. StreamYard lets us do this for free. So
Absolutely, they do.
I just appreciate you, asking me to come over. Like I
No,
told you, like we talked about earlier, anything to help anybody out. That's what I'm here for.
in which we already got some in here. So let's do a couple quick shout outs. So we do have, oh, look at that. We have Justin from JK Survival Bushcraft. Welcome, my brother. STP, as always, which I did get my STP official stickers in. So thank you, ma'am, for that. Susan with the 5x5, Texas Raider always with the 308. Then we got Lynn is in the house as well as Lincoln as well. Okay, so we are live. For anybody with there is Mr. Mount or Leonard Mountain Homestead. Hello, Chris. Welcome, buddy. So we are doing a 1 hour live Q&A. I'm going to be chit chatting here with the Orlando Prepper. If you guys have any questions for either me or him, drop it down in the chat and we will go through and get this kicked off really quick. Before I do, if you guys have noticed the new hat, that is Slim Chance Outdoors, as well as the t-shirt, the official coffee mug that I am going to be drinking out of tonight, which it's got a very bad glare. I apologize. And some canned koozies and whatnot. So, if you would, sir, anybody who has never had the pleasure of viewing any of your videos, would you tell a little bit about yourself?
Sure, don't mind one bit. Actually, I'm a retired police officer. Put up with that for years. Put up with society for years. Had a little special, I'll call it private security work back in the day before that. And right now, I'm retired, living in the great Sunshine State, living fat and happy with my good woman, Lady Prepper. Hopefully, you'll see her in the chat there. I know she's with us. But basically, like I told you, I just do this to help people. Being a former police officer, firearm instructor, and I've been doing a lot of work lately with communication stuff, trying to teach people how to set up comm systems for their mutual assistance groups and stuff like that. So, if you guys have any questions along those lines, be glad to help, to answer them, help you out if I can. But I've been doing the prepping thing for a long time. I can tell you one thing right up front, you never stop. It's a continuous process. So when you get into it, it's got to be fun. Just, set your goals. When you meet a goal, you set back, you celebrate that goal, and you set another one. And that's how you just keep getting going farther and farther and farther and preparing better and better each time.
Which, let's see. I am sorry, Mrs. Rural. Here is your shout out. So good, get that one out of the way. And then we got a few of the thank you for your service. So that
Appreciate that.
Everything. And then we have our first question right here from Miss STP. So the increased population of Florida, are there still remote places to bug out down there?
Yes, there are. And if you go over to my channel, the Orlando Prepper, remember the because after I set up my channel and started getting a little success, somebody jumped in with Orlando Prepper, and it didn't help me out a lot. But if you go over there and check out my channel, you'll see that occasionally I post videos when I'm out in the wilderness and I'm looking for places to bug out. There's a few there. Of course, I don't tell you where I am, but I do tell you what I'm out doing and what I'm looking for. So you got to do that. Most of the development here is in the central part around Orlando and along the coast. So, in between, there's a lot of good areas where you could bug out.
Very good. And that brings up too, it's just about getting out and about. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're never going to find that place unless you go out and do it.
Exactly.
So, in which I agree, Ryder. That is a good looking hat since you sent it to me. And then there's my long distance sister, Miss Marissa. Welcome. Glad to have you. Who else do we have? Any more? Dun, dun. Susan. So, where I live in the northwest panhandle of Florida, we are very rural. Interesting. There
Yep.
you
Yep.
go.
The further north you go in Florida, the less development you get, unless you're on the coast.
Which you just put out a video not too long ago where you actually showed your bag where you were going out and what you packed in it.
Right. Right. I went out. I went out to hike that day, and when I pack my 1 day bag when we go out camping in locations, and then I go from there out to search for even more remote locations. But I showed how I packed that bag for that 4 to 6 hour hike. But what I have in there will sustain me for 24 hours if it has to. So it was pretty good. It was a pretty good little video. If y'all go check it out, I'd appreciate it.
Oh yeah, that was a really good video, and it's one of the refreshing ones that I've seen. I see a lot of people put in a lot. They go through and they do a lot of the cutting and the editing and the music and this and that. And yours was just raw, and it just drew me in. That you literally was like camera stuff. Here's what I'm taking.
Yeah, yeah. And I had a lot of comments on that video. People saying, well, you don't have, your communications, you don't have your, bear protection or whatever. But that's the things I carry every day. It don't matter if I'm in the woods or not. I always got my comms with me. I always got my little friend on my hip.
Mm-hmm.
I do increase the caliber a little bit when I get out like that, but that's just an everyday thing. So I didn't even think about including that in the video.
Well, yeah, yeah. That was the different from the EDC.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And they're right there. Been all over the world and the country and never to Florida. You are missing out. Just ask him.
There's some nice places here, but there's some that I wouldn't go to. I mean, Miami, they're trying to clean that up a little bit, but I wouldn't go there. Tampa's really terrible right now. But the one place that I've always avoided, I've been living here for over 20 years, and the one place I've always avoided was Disney World. I wouldn't go there. You couldn't pay me to get over there.
That'll lead into the next one. So you have metal textiles between Orlando and Dayton. And speaking of Disney, for those of us without venomous snakes, what do you do for your pack for that?
Actually, that's in my first aid kit. Yeah, that was included in my video. There's not really, I mean, you just got to hope you can deal with that when it happens. You take, a little snake bite kit. It's not bad. It's not big at all. But Metal Textile was with us. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it, buddy. I know you always a regular on my channel, so I appreciate you coming over here tonight. But
excellent.
The snake bite thing is just keep your eyes down. You always walk with a stick. Always. If you watch my videos, I got this, it's like a staff that I walk with. Keep your eyes down, and you'll see those snakes. They don't want to bother you, believe me. The only way you're ever going to get bit is if you step on one of them. So if you keep your eyes down, they're gonna you'll see them, and you just give them, pop that stick on the ground a couple of times, and they're gone.
And I was waiting for this question right here, and it only took 9 minutes. Are you a ham operator?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you go over there and check out, like I said, check out my channel. I'm into ham, GMRS, even a CB radio. Comms is a big thing. If you're local here in Florida, my call sign is KT4 Delta X-Ray November. Give me a shout. Like I said, if you're in Florida, you know what SARNet is. Just get on SARNet and give me a shout. I'll be glad to talk to you.
Excellent. And we've been having a lot of the comms guys in. I've been wanting to push it just because of how important I believe communications is.
Oh, when things go sideways, the first thing they're going to take out is communications.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever an opposing force goes somewhere, even back in the day, if we could knock out the comm somewhere before we went in, that's the first thing we did.
Mm-hmm.
So when things go sideways, even if it's if it's not a total SHTF, if the U.S. gets too unruly, like it did back in 2020, it might even get worse this year. This is an election year. First thing they're going to do, if they have to, is knock out the communications. So those people that are causing problems can't communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have that alternate communication source. And ham radios are great. GMRS radios, I think, are even better.
Mm-hmm.
There's fewer people on GMSR channels, and they're easier to operate because they're already programmed. You don't have to program a GMRS radio. It has channels, not frequencies.
Right.
That makes it easier. We'll meet on channel 15 at 17 minutes after the hour, every hour. Easy to do. Just click it over there. Bingo. You're talking.
Love it. Which, by the way, no, not that kind of ham. Tell you. And then, of course, we have Mr. Trucker, who is on the CB all the time. That's another good source of communication.
Yep. The
And
problem with that is, if we do go SHTF, and it looks like we're getting closer every day, guys. I got to be honest with you. That CB radio is going to be so cluttered. The airwaves are going to be so cluttered.
Mm-hmm.
You might catch a communication here and there occasionally. So if you get that ham radio up and running, just get you a technician's license. It's so easy to get. And you got the 6 meter band and the 2 meter band that are different from the what I would call commercial bands, the 2 meter and the 70 centimeter. You get on the 6 meter and the 10 meter, you can talk all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you can listen from all over the world. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be the important part, is gathering that information that you get on the radio.
Yep. And looks like Deer Slayer from Florida on my CB all the time.
Yep, there you go.
I have no idea on that one, but then again, my CB days. Here we go. So that looks like a call sign.
That's what it is. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Down in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Got some call signs. Oh, here we go. That looks like a brand.
Yaesu, yep. Yes, they are. They are very good radios. But here's the thing about the Yaesu. A lot of people don't realize. A lot of people talk bad about the Baofeng radios. Mm-hmm. They are exactly the same as the Yaesu, and they cost about half as much.
Ooh. I did not know that.
Yep.
Interesting. It looks like you got a fellow Orlandian. I don't know how you say your fellow person from Orlando.
Yeah, Edith. Yeah, she's a regular on my channel. Thanks for coming over and joining us tonight. Welcome. Subscribe to this man's channel. Come on, guys. If you're a regular on my channel, subscribe to this channel.
Ooh, there brings up a good point. So our mag is using long-range CB, so we aren't dependent on repeaters. What do you think on that?
CBs are like the GMRS radios. They're programmed. They have channels designated already. Mm-hmm. The problem with those, like I said, the problem's going to be if things do go bad, you're going to have so much traffic on those channels. Mm-hmm. So many people have CBs. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to get a power booster. By FCC law, a CB can only have 4 watts of power. But now they do make boosters you can put on them. You're not supposed to. Let me say that up front. You're not supposed to put those boosters on there. But the only way you're really going to get a good communication between people on CBs is if you have those boosters and you're drowning everybody else out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think they have their place. It's definitely something that if you had, I would not get rid of it by any means.
Right. And, CBs are readily available. They're easy to use. But if it does go straight up SHTF, the last thing the FCC is going to be worried about is somebody using a booster on a CB radio. So.
Mm-hmm. Or a license. So do you need a license
exactly.
for a GMRS?
Yep, yep. GMRS is so easy though. You just go on the FCC website. It's $35. It's good for 10 years. There's no test, nothing. You just fill out their little form on the internet, and bam. Within 24 hours, they'll send you an email with your call sign on it.
Boom. Love it. Ooh, very good question. How many percentage wise of law enforcement, in your opinion, do you think are preppers?
I would say it's pretty high. I'm not going to give you a number, but if I was going to guess generally, I would say probably about 65 to 70%.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're the guys that see it every day, and we see how it's getting worse and worse every day.
Yes.
And the guys I'm still in contact. I've been retired since '95, so I've been retired a long time. But the guys I'm still in contact with, yeah, they're ready. They're getting ready. It's like me; they know what's coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I think it gives them a little bit of a leg up with you doing it, and then you got out of that and did a little bit of security. I did privatized security for short stints, or so to speak, and it changes your perspective on things.
Oh yeah, when you're out there every day, and no, the only time somebody wants to see you is when they have created a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to deal with their problem.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever calls the police to say, "Hey, let's just come in, let's have a cup of coffee and sit down and chat." Let me ask you guys to do something. I don't, if you're ever in a restaurant, you're eating dinner, you see a couple of police officers there, they're eating dinner. Don't think, look at them, they're killing time. They should be out doing this or that. They have to eat too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They have to take a break. If you can find it in your heart, pay the tab for them.
Yep.
I'll never forget one night when I was still on the department in Nashville. I go into an Olive Garden and I'm sitting there eating dinner, me and my partner, and I asked for my check, and the manager walks over and says, "You don't have a bill." I said, "Yeah, we have to pay. We can't take anything from anybody." He said, "Your bill's been paid. Reba McEntire paid for it when she left." So I'll never forget that. If you support these guys, kick them a meal every now and then or something, a cup of coffee, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, they are they're doing what they do because they want to help people. They're not making a lot of money, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me.
Very much so. And which, for me, it changed because I remember during training, you on certain tasks that we had to do, your job was to, protect somebody, and that person has no training. So if there's
Right.
two of you, if you and your partner's out, you don't worry about your partner because he's trained. Yeah, you keep
Right.
an eye on him and things.
That's
You
right.
worry about the person there. And then when you get home, suddenly it gives me the perspective of how do I turn my family from a liability into an asset?
Right. That's exactly right. You
So
know,
make sure that you guys train with your family.
absolutely. Your family needs to know what me and Lady Prepper's going to the gun range again tomorrow. I'm teaching her. She's wanting to carry a new gun, so I'm not I'm not going to let her carry it until I train her right with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're heading out, but I know when we get out, she's my backup.
Mm-hmm.
When we go somewhere, that's my backup. So I want her to be trained right. Train with your family, guys. That's very important. Very important.
Very much. Very much. Because you are going to already be in a heightened state when something's going down. And the last thing you want to do is be looking over your shoulder, constantly worrying. If they're trained, it gives you more attention to focus on what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Yes. Which, crap, now I need to get a Baofeng.
Good thing is they're cheap.
Yes, they
I
are.
got several of them right there. Believe me, that's my comm system with my team. We all have bail things, so they're good radios.
Ooh,
Marine
Marine.
VHF. Yep, yep. I don't mess with that much. I monitor it, especially here in Florida. we got all the ports around here. I do monitor that channel occasionally, but I don't. Nah, I've never really gotten into it. But that's another, system that's not really that busy.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be where you are. I know here in Florida it is because we got lakes, we got the coastline all around the state, but if you're in a landlocked state, you might be able to use those frequencies and not have any problem at all.
That's smart thinking, actually. I don't know if I even ever thought about that one.
Yep.
So somebody has a comm expert in their mag that's designed and built an amazing antenna. That is awesome. That's a great thing to have as a comms guy.
Yep. You got to have a comms guy, and antennas are so important. The thing to remember about antennas, it don't have to be a big antenna.
Mm-hmm.
It can be this tall.
Yep.
As long as you get it 20 feet in the air. Height is might. That's the way I always say about antennas.
Always. It looks like we got another call sign.
Yeah, there we go. That's a GMRS call sign and a ham call sign.
Man.
That's Edith. There we go. Yeah.
Starting to feel left out. Maybe I need to start getting in there. Oh, here was another question. So what GMRS radio do you recommend, and are there handhelds?
Yes, there are handheld GMRS. And I use the Retivis radios. That's Retives, I think. Let me see here. Retvis, excuse me. Got one right there. That's the one I use in my base. But the good thing about the Baofeng radios, if you go over and watch a video I posted a couple of days ago about programming your ham radio, your Baofeng radio, I showed you a little secret there. You can buy those Baofeng radios, and they will get not just the ham channels they're programmed for. They'll get the GMRS channels and the FRS channels. If you use that little tip I showed everybody. Now, here's a disclaimer. You're not supposed to do that. Only do it in an emergency situation. Okay? But that little Baofeng, that's why I keep saying the little Baofeng radios are the best deal in the market when it comes to comms.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Which metal? I am out of Ohio, so I'm up north, and then we have the most law enforcement try to maintain order, or will they abandon their posts to protect their families and bug in/bug out?
Well, they're going to do what they can as long as they can, but military is going to be the same way. A lot of people don't realize that, If it's straight up SHTF, everything's gone sideways. Let's say it's an EMP or an economic collapse or something like that. They're going to take care of their families. It don't matter if they're getting orders from whoever. When you get right down to it, they got to take care of their loved ones first. It's that simple. God, family, country. That's the way I always looked at it, guys.
Yep. So, absolutely.
And I think this administration, if things do really go sideways, they're going to be surprised how many of their military personnel are going to vanish.
Yep. Absolutely agree. And speaking of military, I was going to be talking about this. This would be a great one. Heard a rumor that the British submarine accidentally launched an ICBM off the coast of Florida. From what I heard, that was not an accidental shooting. They were doing a test fire because there was actually some brass on that sub that they were showing off to.
Well, we know it didn't work.
Yep.
Thank goodness. I don't know if it was a test or an accident, but thank goodness it failed. But the way the media is, or I should say our military administration is, they might have accidentally, popped that boy off, and then they had to neutralize it while it was in the air. You never know. They have the capability to do that. And of course, if it was an accident, then this story of, well, it was a test that failed. It's a perfect cover.
Yep. Did you see the video of that?
I didn't check it out. I mean, I watched so much stuff today. I didn't have time to see it.
That poor missile got about 15 feet and then started doing loops and then just plopped.
Yeah. Well, they could have easily turned on, retro burners on that to make it
Mhm.
spin and try to drop it back in the water. So
Oh yeah, I was so blown away. I was like, okay.
I'll have to check that out. I'll check that out tomorrow.
Which, Justin, I appreciate the super chat there. What do we got here from JS? Had an officer at the end of the driveway one morning, went down and chatted with him for an hour, told him anytime any of his coworkers needs a place to park the driveway and coffee is hot.
There we go. There we
I
go. Them
love it.
guys love that. I'm telling you. And they have taken care of you ever since then. You don't even know. You might not even know it. But when somebody was good to us, we were good to them.
Absolutely love it. And then Amazon has some Baofangs with some percentage off. Interesting. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
And here is a perfect question for you. So, what do you feel is the most likely SHTF situation?
Right now, I think the economy is our biggest problem.
Hmm.
When we broke 34 trillion, the United States officially owed more money
Hmm.
than our gross worth
Hmm.
when we broke 34 trillion. So we're bankrupt.
Yep.
If you watch, I told some people last week during my live feed, don't watch the stock market, watch the money markets,
Hmm.
the world money markets,
Hmm.
and see what that dollar's doing. It's going up and down and up and down, and that's just an unsteady market.
Hmm.
And when we get to the point to where International Monetary Fund uh, is not allowing world banks to loan the United States money, it's over. That's
Yep.
it. It's over.
Yep. And actually, I was just reading it was Kiwi Bank, I believe, in Russia. They just got closed out oh, the International Monetary Fund or whatever of Russia bought them out.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I definitely agree. I think the economy is one. Um, it's so odd because there's so much going on all around the world, uh, and
Uh-huh.
you come across your attention is here because mainstream media is here. And then inside you go, okay, so what are they diverting attention? So you look over here and you see it. Then all of a sudden you're like, well, there's stuff in Africa, there's stuff here. Well, now
Right.
they're going to Antarctica, and
Can I try to share something here?
yeah, give it a shot.
Hang on, let me give it a try. I don't know if I can do this or not. Uh, wow. I'm trying to get the uh, DEF CON level up.
Well, why you do that?
People,
I love that. They must have bought that missile from North Korea. I was going to say like Timu or Wish.com, but
yeah. Let me see if I can get this right here. There we go. Let me share that. Let me get that advertisement off of there. But if you go to the DEFCON level.com, I don't know if it's showing up or not.
yep.
All right, you have to go to the top of the page and click on the USA, and you'll see our DEFCON level.
Hmm.
If you just go straight to that website, their main page always says that it's DEFCON 3. That's their main page. It always says that. You have to go to the top and click on USA to see our DEFCON level. And as you can see there, it was 2.
Hmm.
And it's been 2 for about 2 weeks now.
Hmm.
But that's not good. When we get to that level, that's pretty bad.
which which I have seen that too, Susan, about the true DEF CON is classified, and it probably is.
Actually, no, it's not.
Is it not?
It falls under the Freedom of Information Act, and they have to publish it. They have to publish it daily.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting, interesting.
Believe me, I've been doing this a long time, and I know
Very
where to
cool.
go find those things. And if you just go look up the Freedom of Information Act,
Hmm.
any kind of statement that comes out of the State Department, the White House, the Department of Defense, and several other departments that comes out every day. It has to be made available to the public.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, and here, that'll lead me into a question. So, for me, I have a routine every day. And the first thing that I do in the morning, about lunchtime, and then towards the evening is I check my three D's. And that is the value of the dollar, the debt clock, and then the down detector. I want to see what they're messing with and all that. Because
Yep.
there's a few times in down detector, and I even took some screenshots posted on Facebook. The top 6 or 8 things will all be communications.
Yep. Absolutely. That's something that people need to watch. Is that, like I said earlier, watch that dollar on the world monetary market.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys can do it, there's a way to fend that off when it does happen. Start buying some precious metals,
Yep.
some gold and silver and platinum. Start storing that. Right now, silver's affordable. You should have a minimum, a very minimum of about 100 ounces of silver on hand, and not just the 1 ounce, silver coins. Get you some 10th ounce and some quarter ounce, because if the dollar does collapse, and we're here pretty much on a barter system in the United States,
Yep.
then those different denominations are going to be like $10 bills and $20 bills and $100 bills. That's why you need different weights in that on those silver coins.
And I'm sure that this is not going to do much, but if you guys have never seen, let's see if I can get that in there to where it's going to do it. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
There's
It's
your
rocking.
running tally of the national debt.
Yeah, it's rocking and rolling.
Yep.
It's gone up. Looks like 5 billion today.
And then right there, that right there, debt per citizen is 101.9, and per taxpayer is 265. And the way to do that is little rural. My 4-year-old is not a taxpayer yet, and so right now my 4-year-old has a debt of $101,000.
Ain't that beautiful? God bless America.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer can this go on, guys?
Yep. Yep.
Need to start making preparations to fend that off, because it's coming.
Yes. Which we had Defy the Grid on not too long ago, and they specialize in gold backs. What is your thoughts on gold backs?
I'd rather have the actual metal in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
I know gold backs, they say there's so much gold in each one of those,
Mm-hmm.
and they come in different denominations. I think $20, $50, $100. But I would rather have that metal in my hands, that coin. I really would.
Yep. And he did a really great job in it of, if you take a 1 ounce of gold, which is what, $22,000, something like that right now.
Yeah, around that. Yeah.
So he held a $2,000, coin, one coin, and then he held up this huge, stack, and he goes, "This is $2,000 in gold backs." So I get it. If you got a little bit of money, maybe a couple gold backs. You got a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. But start off with those silver rounds. That's a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they're cheap right now. Probably around what, $22, $23 an ounce.
Yeah, I think it just dipped under 23 last I checked.
Yeah. But that's a good place to start. But you need to do it if you can. I mean, I know you got to have first get that food,
Mm-hmm.
and get a way to purify water.
Yep.
Because water is so hard to store. It's so bulky, and it's hard to store water. But get you a way to purify water. Food and water first.
Yep.
Third, defensive tools.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta protect that food and water when you get it.
Yep.
And you gotta have plenty to feed those tools.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that.
Which
And
brings
then
right
then get into the gold and silver.
which metal textiles, lead, copper, and brass.
There you go. Yep. That's right.
And really, I believe on a lot of that, people will get in there and they will go, "You have to buy gold," and then they go, "No, no, no, you buy silver." Well, no, you buy a mixture. Honestly, I think during SHTF, brass, copper, I mean, there's going to be a use for all of that.
Yeah, but I will say this. I want to add this. If we ever do get into a barter system, you don't ever want to trade away your ammo
Mm-mm.
because then you're giving somebody the means to come and just take what you have.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Now
that's just
there's
the way I see it.
the only way for me is we talked about I was talking to a friend that lived out of state, and they were getting their mag together, and their mag was getting quite big. They were getting like 45, 50 people. Well, one of the mag people were actually moving about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and they kind of started a little mag there. That might be an ammo trade sort of thing. You know them, you trust them. Maybe they're getting a little low, maybe something like that.
Well, yeah, you got a network.
Yeah.
Even in situations like that, you got a network, but you got to know who you're
Hmm.
dealing with.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of, yeah, maybe I can trade this guy, some ammo for some bread or whatever.
Yep.
Because if it gets bad here, I can call him on the radio and he can bring his forces in and help us out.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a case where you could do
Storing dehydrated water.
that. I got several rooms full of that.
Oh yes. Yep, right there. Walking the streets of the sidewalks, picking up pennies. Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Nope. It's free money right there. It's the same as you see the people going around and collecting tin cans and everything else, the scrapper guys, all that.
That's
It's
right.
just free money.
That's right.
And I see it a lot. Man, I really want this knife. I really want this firearm. I just, money's tight. There's free money laying around.
Yep.
All you got to do is put a little effort into it and you can find a way. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to do it.
That's right. That's the thing. People don't have that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to say, I'm determined to do this,
Mm-hmm.
and then take the steps to get it done.
Yep. Yep. And we just did that video that got released that you have to physically be there. You have to mentally be there.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
if you watch us and we motivate and you go, I want to do it, if this is squishy and it's not going to do it, then it all works together.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we got here? Oh, somebody corrected us. 22.55 silver price today. Man, it dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm waiting on it to get below 21 again, and then I'll buy
Mm-hmm.
another 100 ounces.
Oh yeah. Copper mine's been laying off workers, which is an indicator of the business not buying copper. Ooh,
Huh.
I
Wow,
didn't
that's
know
hard
that
to
one.
believe, especially with the building. Well, the building industry's taking a dump.
Yep.
And that's where a lot of the copper goes into wiring and plumbing and stuff like that. And if the building industry slowed down, then of course the copper industry slowed down.
I had to take a note on that. I want to go investigate that copper there. That's definitely interesting. Which I'm in that kind of point. I've been prepping and doing things for quite a while, and so now I get to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So I have my gold, I have my silver, I have my water, I have this and that. And I was at the precious metal store, and you see gold, you see silver, gold, silver, all that. There's something that caught my eye, and I was like, "That's different." And they had a 1 pound bar of copper,
Huh.
and I went,
Hmm.
"I don't need that at all, but I'm going to buy it."
If you don't mind, will you tell us what you paid for it?
I overpaid a little bit over there just because it was their only bar, and I've never seen it, and I knew I overpaid. So I think I paid about $22 for it.
Oh,
yeah.
You never know what it might be worth in the future.
That's true. That's true. It's a great conversation piece, and it really holds paper down really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But people ask me all the time, why are you buying silver? You can't eat silver. Well, I'm at the point where I've got plenty of food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Take those steps, guys, like I said. And then, like he said, then you can get to where, well, I'm going to have some fun with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy that just for the heck of it, just to see what happens.
Yep.
You never know what it's going to be worth in the future.
Nope. And it goes into it, too, of the people that tell me Silver, gold, you can't eat it. What are you going to do with it? There might be somebody out there that I can trade and eat whatever I trade with.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, that ounce, that 1 ounce of silver now is 22.50, 55.
Mm-hmm.
When money's no good anymore, that's going to be worth maybe $100.
Yep.
You know, you can buy $100 worth of goods with that 1 ounce of silver you paid 22.55 for. That's the way you got to look at it. It's an investment in the future that you hold in your hand.
I like that right there. Number one prep is your health. Yep. Your physical health and your mental health.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to be healthy. You know, you got to have the right mentality, and that's where that's where a lot of people are going to have a major, major problem if we do go totally dark,
mm-hmm.
or yeah, especially totally dark with everybody walking around nowadays, you know, with their phone, and that's their life. That the mental aspect is going to be hard on so many people. They've never lived without electronics.
Yep.
So they don't know how to do that. They won't know how to cope.
Yep.
And that's why today, you know, if you got children or you got grandchildren and, you know, that's their life, you got to take at least one day a month, say, okay, we're not going to do this today.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, let them get familiar with doing something different. Because that is going to be a major factor. If we do, especially right now, they're talking about Russia's putting EMPs in space. Duh. Mm-hmm. No kidding. They've been doing that for 30 years. They're just telling you about it now because they want you, you know, to go along with that 60 billion going to Ukraine, and they're going to get their kickback. But it's there, guys. Believe me. Humans have never created the technology to develop a weapon and not developed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple.
Yep.
So they're there. They've been there for a long time. And that crazy Putin, you know, he might get bent on, you know, Joe Biden one day and just pop one off and knock out communications in half the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another thing. A lot of people don't know. North Korea has had 2 satellites in space for, I think, about 10 years now. Every 90 minutes, they go over the United States. One goes, you know, probably like over Tennessee and Missouri. The other one goes over maybe, you know, Wyoming, Nevada, out in that area. Mm-hmm. And nobody knows why they're there. They're not communication satellites because they're not sending out any signals. That's so easy to track.
Yep.
You can track that with a ham radio, honestly. But nobody knows why they're there, and they're not giving off any signals, and they've been there for years. And they are, the way they orbit is perfect for, if they are EMPs, they can pop them off and turn us dark in a heartbeat, the entire country.
Yep. And I'm going to add to that, but real quick, I'm going to apologize right here. So I've seen the ones, and I was talking to some people, and they were bringing up the 15-minute cities, and they're going, no, that'll never happen. They can't do the 15-minute cities. And I go, all you gotta do is have the people and turn off the Wi-Fi. Oh, somebody attacked and there's no thing. But if you come to the city, we're giving out free Wi-Fi. Watch all these people come.
That's right. That's absolutely right. It wouldn't be hard to do. You know, all they have to do is shut off the resources. Mm-hmm. And then millions and millions of people are going to go wherever the government tells them the resources are.
Yep.
But what they don't realize is they're giving up their freedom. Mm-hmm. They're going to prison. Yep. It's that simple.
That simple.
You know, mankind has developed so much since World War II. And nowadays they're even just eliminating telling students in schools about what happened in Europe during World War II to the people over there, in Germany in particular. Let me put it that way so I can get it right. But there were people that were starving over there, and they had to go to those places. Mm-hmm. And then there were others that weren't starving, and they just rounded them up and made prisoners out of them. Mm-hmm. But we've gotten so far away from that, and our educational system is not teaching that anymore. Nobody even knows about it anymore, unless you're my age. Honestly, I'm an old guy. I remember reading about that stuff back in the day.
Yep.
But my grandchildren don't know anything about it unless I tell them. It's that
Nope.
simple.
Nope. And which Susan wants to know if you garden at all.
Oh, absolutely. We had a garden this year that was outrageous. It was awesome. Got some tomatoes. I think I ate the last tomato today or yesterday from our garden that produced from back in the summer. And now we're having to, clean that garden out. We're actually going to do a video on that. We're going to clean that garden out and we're going to replant it and we're going to show everybody how to do it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to look forward to that. Oh, I missed it. Lady Prepper beat you to it.
There you go. Right there. That's my girl right there. She takes care of me. That's the one that keeps me in line, guys. If it wasn't for her, I'd have been dead a long time ago.
In which I agree right here. The sitting on the couch and ordering some stuff off Amazon is not prepping. You have to get up. You have to go do. You have to learn. You have to get outside. You have to do it. You cannot buy your way in to surviving SHTF.
Absolutely. Skills are going to be just as valuable as food.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to know how to do things. You have to know how to garden. You're going to have to know how to barter. That's a skill in itself. People don't realize that. And you're going to have, there's several skills that you need to learn. You can't order them on Amazon.
Nope.
And, I'm the first one that likes to say, oh, I found this radio on Amazon. Let me get that. Boom, 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 boom. But, when things really go bad, that's just going to be an accessory that I have in my life.
I agree. Yeah. And which I like that they bring up Jace Medical, and I have yet to get one. Do you have one?
Actually, they tried to get me to go into business with them, and I turned them down.
See, I hear when they first came out really amazing things, and then all of a sudden I started hearing a little bit down, and now I'm hearing a pretty decent mixture.
Well, what they offer, they offer good drugs.
Yeah.
They do. What they're offering is a good thing, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I did a thing on my medications. I'm an old man, all right? I got cholesterol and blood pressure problems. I'll be the first one to admit that. But I did a video on how I stockpiled 1 year's worth of medication. That was a while back. I probably need to redo that. I need to update that. I need to do that for folks, I guess. But the antibiotics, you guys know, mainly their antibiotics are amoxicillin, and you can buy that in any pet store, guys, honestly, and pay a lot less for it. So look for options. I'm not saying that's a bad service.
No.
I'm just saying I didn't go into business with them because that's not why I do this. I don't do this to make money. I do it to help people. But if you need antibiotics and you're stocking up for SHTF, look for other options. There are cheaper options out there. But if you want to go with them, that's great. They got some good stuff. They'll send it to you,
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock them. I'm just saying there's options you need to look for.
I think they offer a really good one-stop shop. You can go there, spend the money. It's that cry once, buy once.
Right.
Oh man, STP, you're always the lucky when you have a doctor in your mag.
I have two.
Oh, wow.
Husband and wife doctors.
Man, I apparently I need to. Most of us in our group have went to first responder training and things like that, but I don't have an actual doctor, so.
Yep.
Yes, and that's that one right there. Practice is everything.
Absolutely.
There's a good one. Will ham radio and GMRS be affected by an EMP?
Absolutely. That's why I have backups in my Faraday cage. That is very important. I have backups to all of my electronics in a Faraday cage. Not only do I have backups to those backups. Redundancy, guys. If things go bad, redundancy will be so valuable. You can't even imagine it right now.
Yes. And it's going to bother me because I don't remember who said it, but it's the thing of, does a Faraday cage work? And it's one of those ones where it's been tested and it works to what they can test it, but it's never been like mass tested. And they said the perfect thing: if you don't have one and the worst case happens, you're done.
Absolutely.
If you have one, then you have a 50-50 chance.
Yep. Here's what I like to tell people to do. When it comes to Faraday cages, go to yard sales and look for those old microwaves. You remember those old big microwaves? See if you can find one of those and buy it for like $10. Stick your phone in it. Have somebody call your phone. If your phone don't ring, that's a Faraday cage.
Yep.
It's that simple. And you got to, like I said, you buy those big ones, man, you can put radios in there and computers and whatever you want to do. Here's another thing about on that topic.
Okay.
Get you a little laptop like everybody has nowadays. Go to a pawn shop, wherever, buy one cheap, put it in your Faraday cage, get you a flash drive, a little thumb drive, and put videos on there showing you how to do things. People, I do it. I go to YouTube and say, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? Well, download that video onto that thumb drive and load it up. Just fill it up with all kinds of videos. And then put that in that Faraday cage. And then when things do go sideways, you can break out your little solar power system, plug in your computer, and then watch those videos if you have to. Because I'm a visual person. I learn a lot better by watching somebody teach me how to do something than reading about it. And that would be extremely valuable.
Well, you bring up a really interesting thing that I've never thought about. So an EMP affects the circuitry, correct?
Yes.
So would you have to put your flash drive in there as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And here's another thing a lot of folks don't realize. I'm sure most of us have backup solar power systems. Your solar panels aren't going to be hurt. If they are, then the only thing that they have in them that would be damaged is a little diode in the back that goes from the positive to the negative. And you can go on Amazon right now and buy those, like 20 of them for $10. Get those extra diodes and put them in your Faraday cage. That's the only thing on a solar panel that will go bad. And most solar panels don't even have those. But there are so many things that have just little tiny computer boards in them. Even your LED lights, they're computer chips. That's what an LED is. It's a computer chip. And an EMP will kill it. So if you have extra LED lights, stick them in a Faraday cage.
I like it. And it looks like Edith asked, what about a bare fac? Any information? Do you have a bare fac?
Actually, no.
I do. And I will tell you on a bare fac, they are expensive. They are well worth it, in my opinion. You will not get medication in them, but they have very, very good medical supplies in it. Again, it's going to touch on that. It's going to be a buy one, cry one. You're going to spend the money, but you're going to get a really good set amount in there. You can probably build your own for much cheaper, but then again, you're also paying for a really well constructed bag that's very much battle tested, and all that supplies in there is very well thought out.
I can guarantee you we have the medical supplies here we need, especially with 2 doctors in the group.
Let's see. What was that question? So if your Faraday cage laptop has a DVD drive, you can watch DVDs and charge the laptop off the solar generator.
Yep.
Okay. Also back up all the phone photos on it, store the laptop with the battery removed.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
Yep. Don't store any electronics with a battery inside. Take the batteries out. That's everything from a little flashlight and a radio to like this, a laptop, or if you have a portable TV with batteries in it, take those batteries out, folks.
And it looks like I know JS has a bear fact, and he's gonna back it up on there. And right there, Metal Textiles is saying good stuff. Absolutely. And he even puts it in there to boot. Make sure you get training, because this is, again, you cannot buy your way out of it. If you go buy a tourniquet or a skin stapler or something like that, you
Right,
don't know how to use it, you
right.
might as well just throw it away.
Well, see, that's a good example of those videos I'm telling you to put on that thumb drive, on that flash drive.
Hmm.
There's thousands and thousands of them out there right now that show you the proper way to use those medical tools.
Hmm.
Download them, put them on that flash drive, stick them in
Hmm.
that Faraday cage. You should know it anyway. But if you don't, and or say it's you that's hurt, and somebody has to figure out how to do that, how to stitch you up with a stapler, you can say, go pull this flash drive out and look at this video,
Yep.
and it'll show them how to do it.
Yep. And label it too. If you have a couple of different
Absolutely,
ones,
absolutely,
medical, food, all that.
right.
And training. Yeah, if you're going to get some stuff, make sure you know how to use each and everything.
Yep,
And not only do you not know, or that you get the training that you know how to use it, practice and stay proficient.
absolutely. Practice is where it's at, folks.
Mhm. Absolutely. Which we are getting down close to our hour. So if anybody has any last minute questions, here is your chance to do it while they are furiously typing away. I can hear them now. Will you let everybody know where they can find you and when you do a weekly live, don't you?
I do Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Hmm.
The Orlando Prepper. The logo looks like, well, you can see half of it right there, but uh, it's a black and red logo. It just says Orlando Prepper on it. So
Hmm.
we've got a good bunch of folks, got a good community, and we have a lot of fun. I actually have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yours is really, really fun, and I really like joining your lives. You have that smaller, base that comes in, and it's very intimate. You know
Yeah,
people, everybody knows each other, and I love that because they can communicate with you, they can communicate with each other, and they, you go into some of them bigger channels, they have 10,000 people in there. You can't read nothing.
right. Well, the thing about my group, uh, they're well educated.
Hmm.
They know what they're talking about. We have people, they're always exchanging information in that chat,
Yep.
and it's always helpful to everybody. If you go to these bigger channels, like you said, that those comments are just popping, popping, popping.
Yep.
You can't read them. It's not that way over there. And even if it ever got that way, I would slow that chat down,
Yep.
and that way we kind of weed out anybody that's wants to be a problem. We
Hmm.
get those every now and then. We'll get a troll in there every now and then.
Oh yeah,
And I have
yeah.
to reach over there and just kind of click them away. I'm sure you've done it too.
Mine, and this is one of my favorite on people like you, me, prepping with Sarge, all that. That has that, a couple thousand. The best thing, I think, at least in my opinion, is while you're sitting here doing this, because you're trying to talk to your audience, you're not paying attention to the chat, and
Right,
then you jump down to the chat, and your guys have already taken care of the problem. You didn't even know it existed.
right. If I know you, if you're a regular on my channel, then you're a moderator, and you know what to look for, and you know to get rid of it.
Hmm.
Pretty much everybody's a moderator because I trust them all, I love them all, and I enjoy them being there, and I know they're going to take care of me. It's that simple.
Hmm. And you also got a new subscriber.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Excellent, excellent. So, everybody, make sure if you haven't, we will. I know the link went scrolling through. One of the mods did drop the link in there. I will, if you catch this on the replay, I appreciate you for stopping in. I will, after the post of this, go down and put the Orlando Preppers stuff down in to the description, so that way you can just go down there and click on it. You don't have to scroll around.
Thank you, sir.
And make sure you go check him out, and then we'll give our special thanks to Lady Prepper. I know she's there in the background, so we appreciate you because you are always in the chats of everything. So
Yeah,
thank you for
she
keeping
actually
him in
does my
line.
talking for me on Thursday night because, like you said, I'm busy doing this.
Hmm.
She's doing my talking for me over there.
Which we love it, and that goes right into it. You've got to make sure that your family's taken care of. Your core has to be good before you can do anything else.
Absolutely.
Yes. So all right, guys, I appreciate everything. Again, thank you to Slim Chance Outdoors for all the fun things. Thank you, Miss STP, for the stickers, as well as I forgot to mention in the beginning, we did get some seeds donated. So, again, remember the seed
There we go.
exchange and the benefit. If anybody needs seeds, please hit me up. We will send them out free of charge. We are out to help people. So, with that, I appreciate you guys. And you got something?
Thank you for having me here.
Mhm.
Hope everybody enjoyed it. If you have any questions, any comments, shoot me an email, theorlandoprepper@gmail.com.
And I always end mine. I'm going to let you do your ending because I like the way you do your ending.
I appreciate it. All right, folks. Stay strong, keep prepping, and pray for the United States of America. The
Amen.
Orlando Prepper is out.
And remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together, folks.